Hello and welcome back to Nobody Does It FK Metta here on Football Manager 2022, and this is the penultimate episode of the save. We are going to be wrapping it up this week, but for now we'll get into this season. We'll talk about what we've done, what we're going to do, and then we will talk about the future of the save and the plans for Football Manager 2023. So let's not bother about wasting our time here, get straight into it. So on the transfers in, you'll be interested to see there is one player who we talked about in the previous episode, that is Marlon Hurtado, who's had a very good season for us in central midfield. He's a very good player, he's improving as well. He's currently injured for 2 to 8 days, but that's not an issue. The outs is actually where this got more interesting. So we've actually had a bit of a clear out of the squad. I think it's partly in prep for the final season. I'm tempted to spend money and just sort of go all out and see what we can achieve, but we did lose some key players. Sonogo has gone to SC Gagnoa. You know, he's had a good season for them, 120,000. We expected more from Sonogo, but 83 league appearances, 14 goals for the Ivorian. He's a good player. He just wasn't quite the level we really needed for going forward. Robert Apse went to Liepāja and had a terrific season, 25 league goals for the Latvian striker. He's turning into a pretty good player overall as well. I knew we were going to let him go. He went to Tukums initially on loan, had a good season in the league last year, and then he's had a very good season for Liepāja for the young man. Diego Luna has gone as well to Banfield, 29-year-old Latvian now, even though he's not Latvian. And yeah, he wasn't going to get any better than this. So we've let him go to Banfield. He's had a very good career with Metta. We brought him in on a free transfer, made 500,000 profit on him. Good player, very good player. Mark Lorentzen has also gone for £525,000 to Michelin. Just wasn't improving at the rate. He was moaning a lot as well. So we thought, just get rid of him. We have made a loss on him, but that's not the end of the world. He's not really played much the last couple of years either. Lots of off the bench appearances. Yegors Novikovs went to Riga. A good player for us. Not good stats wise, but a good player for us. He's had a pretty underwhelming season for Riga this year. Ibrahim Mustafa also left for Al Ali. He was running out of contract. Wasn't playing much anymore either. I was really excited about him when he came in, and he's just not really done it the last couple seasons. He's fallen down the pecking order. Not really turned into the player we wanted, but we did get rid of him for 190,000. It's not the end of the world. Pavel Novikovs went to Ventspils. Aldo Busi has gone to Liepāja. We talked about him in the last episode. Left back that we brought in 2 seasons ago. He got a broken leg and was out pretty much straight away, but he's had, we've made £240,000 profit on this guy, and he's got 2 assists for Liepāja. And the only other one of note, I would say, is Edgars Freemanis, our young goalkeeper who we've let go to Riga. If we were continuing the save long term, I probably would have promoted this guy to the backup, but for now, we'll just let him go and we'll see what he can do. And as you can see, it was another terrific league season that did start a little bit questionable. We weren't really firing on all cylinders. We were conceding goals. We lost the game to Riga straight away, and then we had a draw with RFS as well. Riga were actually top of the table until like week 16, and then they've just fallen off a cliff and barely finished second, and we just proceeded to batter everybody 5 and 6-0. But it was a great season for us. 36 goal games, and as you can see there, Salisu with 36 goals, but we'll talk about that in a moment as well. Lots of wins, and we won 8-0 in the last game of the season, as you do. We also won the Latvia Cup, pretty straightforward as well. And in the Champions League, we actually got out of the group stage round this year. We got past Zelina, Bodo Glimt and Shakhtar in the qualifiers for a 2-0 home win against Celtic, a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge, 2 wins over Benfica, a 1-0 home win over Chelsea, and then we somehow lost 3-0 to Celtic in the last game, but we'd already qualified top of the group by that point. We are in the first knockout round of the Champions League, which we'll talk about obviously in the next episode. The Europa League campaign ended straight away to Atalanta. I'll show you that when we go through the schedule, but yeah, it wasn't a very impressive campaign from us. Finances, again, everything is up. Sponsorships over $1 million, broadcast revenues nearly 10 million, prize money's 33 million, and the matchday commercials also gone up quite a bit as well. Still a 3-star national side. I was hoping we could have got higher than that by now. But if we look at the squad, in terms of the goals scored from our team, as you can see, the squad is tiny now as well. Look at this. 50 goals from Paul Salisu in 42 games. He is a god amongst men, this boy. 65 goals in 58 league games for the club. He's under contract for another couple of years. I'll be curious what happens with him when we leave the save, but he has been unreal since we brought him in from Michelin for 2.1 million. Speaking of unreal, 36 goals for Dejan Nikolov in 45 games as well. Still getting better every single season. He's over 100 league goals for the club in 147 appearances. He's been a terrific signing. Free transfer from Academia Pandev in North Macedonia, and he's gotten better and better every year. Silva had another good season as well. Now, there is obviously a bit of a difference with Silva. He's not our starting striker anymore. That much is obvious. But he's still managed to nab 23 league goals. He's over 200 league goals for the club as well. 26 years old now, and he's still hammering them in for us. If you ignore these 5 goals, he's scored 207 goals in total for the side. What a player. Speaking of legends at the club, who is somehow still not actually a legend on the info screen, Janis Grimbergs. Now, we talked about Grimbergs and we said the plan was to get him to 100 goals for Metta and over 100 goals in his career. He's done both by scoring 13 in the league this year in 23 appearances, 106 goals for the club, 109 in total, 1.5 star player. He's really struggling to maintain a place now, but it is his second best goal return of his career, so that will take. Panda had another good year as well, 11 goals and 11 assists for the new Latvian international, 69 goals, he's on the nice number. Kevin Thompson, our Icelandic midfielder who is turning into just a beast of a player, had another great season, 16 assists in the league, 8 goals as well. Sivamandla Tlade as well, he's now wanted by Porto, who still want him. He's had another good year for us, 7 assists, 6 goals on the left hand side. Emal Tora had a good year as well. We almost let Tora go, but we kept him in the team for now. And anybody else to really mention? Not massively. Gutierrez, good season again. We probably could improve on Gutierrez, but I'm going to be loyal and stick with him final season. Now on the club info screen, Paul Salisu has been at the club for 2 seasons and he's already a legend at the club, which is very unfair on Janis Grimbergs. I don't understand how Grimbergs is not a legend at the club, but already Salisu is. But Silva, Panda, Nicola and myself, Wagner Henrik is an icon, Grimberg's an icon, Klose an icon, despite leaving, Kevin Thompson already an icon, and we've got lots of favoured personnel as well. We have turned this club into a juggernaut in Latvia. 10 league titles in a row, 7 cups as well. If we win one more, we do match the record in the finances. We've got 100 million in the bank pretty much. We are having a great time over here. We can finally actually improve facilities, so we'll ask them to improve the youth facilities again. The club vision is as always great. They're still disappointed we don't make most of set pieces, but guys, we win games every single week, so I don't really know why you would care. My contract actually expires in 2 years time as well, but we are going to end the save after the next season. You'll also notice that we are no longer the Latvia manager. I'll show you why. I've decided that it's not going to be much more long term, so I can't really be bothered playing the games. So since the last episode, these were our results. A 1-0 win against Kazakhstan, 4-0 loss to Poland, 1-0 loss to Holland, a 3-0 friendly win over Greenland, a 5-0 loss to Switzerland, and our final game was a 1-1 draw with Kazakhstan. They then did beat Poland 2-1 before losing to Switzerland and Holland. In the dev centre, there was nothing in the youth intake. It was a rubbish youth intake. Another goalkeeper and a not very useful left winger were the people who came through. And in the schedule, as you can see, we lost 3-1 and then 5-3 to Atalanta in the Europa League first knockout round. It wasn't our best showing. We lost 8-4 on aggregate. We did have a couple injuries that we were dealing with, which was not ideal, but still not a great campaign in Europe for us this past year. And then transfers wise, we don't have anyone coming in as of yet, but we've got 56 million to spend at this moment in time. That will probably go up, and I'm thinking that we might spend the money. As I said, we've got some positions we could improve in. If we look at this screen here, goalkeeper, we could definitely make an improvement, but I'm not going to. Left back, we could definitely improve. Right back, we could probably improve, and striker we're not touching because we just score goals for fun. In central midfield, I'm pretty happy with like Diego Antonio as well as one of our midfielders, so it might just be a case of bringing in a left back and a right back and going from there, possibly a centre back, but I'm happy with Karpatyan, Acefado and Klose as our 3 centre backs going into the season. I did realise as well, I forgot to actually show this in the previous episode, so the Versliga has moved up to 31st in the competition ratings, up from 37. I'm hoping that by the end of next episode we'll have these guys in the top 30. It's not amazing, I would have preferred to be in the 20s, like in the 10s, sorry, and things like that, but for 11 seasons currently, I'm pretty happy with getting up to 31st overall. We are currently also one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. We're currently 25th. We are amongst some heavyweight hitters as well in European football, and our Champions League campaign this year is only going to push us up as well. You can see we're already above some of the teams that are up here, so we should hopefully rise up into the top 20. That's kind of the main things here. We'll quickly talk about what the other teams did in Europe last year. So once again, the same 3. We did lose a European spot because of our pretty poor performance in Europe last year, but let's see what Liepāja did. And would you look at that, they've got into the Europa Conference League, so they got past Ferencváros in the Champions League, and then they got knocked out by Steaua Bucharest. on penalties. Europa League third round qualifying loss to Zhernitsky, and then they did beat TNS in the Conference League playoff to qualify. They haven't done very well. They've got 4 points. They are out of the Conference League, but that's only going to help us. So good job, Latvia. The same can't be said for RFS once again. So they got past Trepsa in the second qualifying round before. Now RFS and Hearts have actually played each other in European competition this season. We did win 2-0 over in Latvia, and we're playing them again in about 2 weeks time, a week and a half's time. We're playing the next leg at Tynecastle, where hopefully we'll get our second win of the campaign. But yeah, Hearts did go into Latvia and win 3-1 in Hearts won 3-1 at home, and did draw 2-2 in Latvia. Josh Giannelli scoring in both legs. Interesting. Yeah, RFS, not good enough. Come on, guys. And if we look at Riga Conference League, they got through Rapid, they got through AIK, and they beat AZ over 2 legs, and got into the group stages as well. So we have 2 teams in the UEFA Conference League groups stage this year. However, Laipazha are already out, and RFS Riga have done worse. A 2-2 draw with Dinamo Tbilisi, and then a 7-0 loss to Newcastle, 1-1 draw with Lask, 4-0 and 3-0 losses. They are out. I'm pretty confident in saying, yeah, they're out. But again, 2 teams have got to the Conference League group stages. If we were continuing the save, it would be so good. But it's just not going to be continued for more than one episode. Infuriating. Plan is, I'm going to play one more season. So this episode's going to be out on the Wednesday. I'm going to have a video releasing on Friday. And as a special addendum, Friday will be a bit of a longer video because I'm going to sim about 5 or 10 years in the future once we resign, and just see what the state of play is for some of these teams. See what Metta's current status is. See if any of the other Latvian teams can rise up as well. So Friday will be a bit of a longer episode. I'm looking at around 20 minutes or so, probably, because we'll have a quick look after the 10-year sort of range. I'll just put the game on holiday and disappear from my computer for a while. But that's kind of the main things for this episode. Another great season for us. Another really successful goal scoring season for us as well. 133 goals. That's last season. 133 goals. We scored the same amount of goals and conceded the same amount of goals. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully you can please drop a like on the video. Do hit that subscribe as well if you're looking to see more. And I'll just quickly tell you, next season, Football Manager 2023, the game should hopefully be out in around a week's time as of recording this video, and we are going to do another Building a Nation. I am going to do a country that has been done on YouTube before, but we're going to go to Iceland, but I'm not telling you the team yet, but we are starting in Iceland, and we are starting in the second tier of the Icelandic football setup. I'll tell you more about it in the first episode of that save. The hope would be to get the first episode up not long after the game launches, maybe within a day or so, depending on playing time, and I'll tell you the rules of the save. And that's going to be a long one. We're hopefully going to finish that one properly. But for now, I'll see you guys at the next episode, the final episode of Nobody Does It Meta. Please drop a like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the finale. Goodbye.